Hello and welcome. This is Jasur and Mauro from Songjiang district of Shanghai. Actually, we have a very beautiful day today, very sunny and warm, so we decided to shoot this video outside. As you know, we did a couple of videos with Mauro already. He's our partner in Italy. He's the legal representative of a company called Moto Consulting. Today's topic is going to be starting a company in Italy and using the same company to immigrate to Italy, and we're going to talk about the options available, and Mauro here as an expert is going to answer some questions. Thank you, Mauro, for joining me in this video.
Thank you so much, Jasur. Always a pleasure to have a chat with you.
Right. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. General question, many of the entrepreneurs might be interested. Can you start the company in Italy and also sponsor yourself work visa to live in Italy long term?
Yes. This the answer to this is straight. Yes, you can do it, and actually it's encouraged.
Okay.
Because of course, we always need Italy, as all the developed or even less developed countries always needs more investment.
Of course.
And definitely welcomes foreign investment in this fashion.
Right.
And definitely you can. There are mainly two routes, let's say, to immigrate. You can either go to Italy as an employee, so as an employee of another company. Okay, this is the most common, I would
of course,
say.
Yeah.
Then if you have that entrepreneurial sparkle, let's say, you can apply for what we call lavoro autonomo. So it means that you are self-employed. Okay. And this is another route that you would follow.
All right. So let me clarify. There are countries, actually, generally speaking, when you talk about moving as an entrepreneur, those countries, they don't normally let foreigners to be self-employed people. If you're a foreigner, for example, in China, you are not allowed to be self-employed. And the same thing goes to most of the developed countries like Canada or UK or let's say like United States. From outside of these countries, you cannot just easily travel or immigrate there as a self-employed person. Canada has some immigration programs for self-employed people, but that's only them because they have an immigration program. But normally speaking, that's very challenging. So in Italy's case, foreigners, actually without ever being in Italy before, foreigners can be self-employed people and then relocate to Italy, right? Is that possible?
Right. Yes. You can, there are different options, let's say. But first, before even, starting thinking of moving, first you need to take care of the quotas.
All right.
Unfortunately, is...
so there are quotas for...
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not automatically that, I do this, open the company and then straight away can go. First, you need to check within the country and the region you are with the local Italian consulate.
All right.
Whether there is still you are still within this frame in a way.
Okay.
And this quota varies year by year.
Okay.
And about this, it varies from where you're from.
Definitely.
And a series of factors. So if you want to have more detailed explanation that applies to your case, I think it's better just to have a chat directly.
Right.
So I just wanted to make this point about this. Yes.
All right. So are there any paid up capital requirements before a company? Let's assume that company belongs to the person who want to relocate to. Any capital requirements before they sponsor a work visa?
Look, when we talk about the self-employed, that means that you can open your company and sponsor that, by yourself, and sponsor yourself through that company. When you open this kind of company, what you need to do is making a plan which basically says that you will inject in the economy a capital of at least half a million euros.
Okay.
You know, I don't think that you need to pay up, you know, in your corporate account already all of that, but at least you should make the plan. Then, you know, again, these rules might have some, you know, the application of these rules might slightly change from person to person.
From country to country, right?
From country to country,
right,
like from like case by case.
All right.
So again, in this case, I would tell you, you know, just have a chat. But, you know, as a general rule, this is like what the law states.
So basically, €500,000.
Yes.
You need to like make a business plan and like show your intention to inject this capital.
And together with this, you also need to make a plan to hire at least 3 people, so that you are, you know, creating jobs.
So are there those 3 people? Do they have to be Italian, or can it be like from any country of the European Union?
Look, it doesn't like the laws doesn't really like specify that, but definitely I think it would be welcome if you can, you know, first hire locally. You know, first Italy, then European Union, then outside the European Union.
That's the logic, actually.
That is the logic, I think.
Right. Because I know that definitely, like most of the European countries, if you want to get a work visa, or even if you want to, you know, apply for any like a job, you know, through other company, the first requirement, you know, that is standing before the hiring company is that they need to look for an employee from the like that country, from that region, actually. If they cannot fulfill the position, then they have to look for that like a person from the European Union, right? And then only if they cannot fulfill, it goes outside of the European Union. But that's like a general case. Of course, it depends, you know, on a company, you know, from company to company, and then.
No, but exactly. But you know, like even, you know, like let's say that €500,000 might be like a scary sum.
Of course.
But you know, you need to put it a little bit in perspective. For example, I was just thinking this, you know, while I was like talking with my consultant before, with the consultant that you know, that will help you if you want to use our service.
Sure.
Basically, you know, if let's say you want to get a bachelor degree in the UK, okay, so in Scotland, for example, is 4 years, and then for that, you know, as a student, just as a student, for an international student, you need to pay tuition fees for around, you know, 225,000 pounds, euros is almost the same a year. Okay, in 4 years is already 100,000.
Right.
And then you need to account, you know, for the expenses, for the house, living expenses, traveling, etc.
Right.
So eventually, you know, it's not so far from you know, the daily life, since this would be, you know, I'm talking here about 4 years, but if you have a long-term plan, let's say 10 years, you are definitely within that that figures. And also, you know, even if you want to, let's say, buy a bar, you know, which is kind of common also for you know, many Chinese people coming, especially
Italy,
like coming from actually near Shanghai. Like most people come from there and go to Italy. You know, buying a bar is
it's a common
probably
practice,
like the most common practice. You know, buying a bar that already exists usually costs around 100,000, 200,000.
Yeah, actually, you know,
so you get there quite easily.
Exactly. I mean, since we're talking about buying an existing business, definitely, like Mauro says, it's one of the options. Right? You don't have to really create a company and obviously convince the government that this company, like a zero balance company, will work somehow, right? Create jobs, etc. But buying an existing company makes your case much stronger, right? To immigrate to Italy or to any like developed country, basically. And literally yesterday, I was like browsing around, on the internet, looking for just to get an idea how much it would cost to buy, for example, an existing business, and I saw some of the cafes and bars, with the existing client base. They cost around approximately like 60,000, from 60,000 euros to say 150,000 euros, and that's actually a great alternative, right? Instead of starting a company and writing a business plan, applying for work visa.
But actually, I have one also good news about this.
Right.
If you want to open a startup, so an innovative company, this €500,000 gets cut to 200,000.
All right.
So if you are starting from scratch,
right.
it is much easier,
of course,
and definitely more doable. Then if you want to open something that is already as you say already developed, and it's already working, and can give you some stable flow of cash, then of course the figures will be higher, but it's doable.
Sure.
I think this is good news.
Okay, one of the points that you mentioned, Mauro, like going to European Union, of course to Italy as well, through starting a startup, like innovation company, kind of a project that will benefit the local economy. I can tell that most of the developed countries right now, including Italy and some of the European countries, for example Portugal, they have a special route. Okay, if you guys interested, like for example, I know for sure in Portugal they have this Startup Portugal program. So just like Mauro says, Italy has one of the similar programs as well. So if you start a startup company and enter that program, and your costs, the requirements will be considerably lowered, right? The barriers will be much lower than that. All right, so let's move on. So this is about financial requirements, right? That's standing before the hiring company. How about the processing time, generally speaking? How much time does it take?
Look, first, I think we need to separate two things. You can open your company, and then you can, let's say, go to Italy from time to time. And then in that case, you would apply for a business visa, like a visiting visa that is for less than 90 days.
All right.
Okay. It's the same also in China.
Okay.
So it works in a very similar manner.
Sure.
Actually, also it's quite easy to check which kind of document you need, and we can do it very easily. Just needs your where you are from, where you live, and how many days you need, and the business that you are conducting, and we can give you your personalized answer. So for this one would be covered in the business visa, Then instead, if you actually want to relocate, as is our main topic, in this case, it also works quite similarly as in China. So first, when you are in China or somewhere else that has, an Italian consulate, you would go there and you will apply for the working visa. Okay. In this case, you will be asked, your passport, pictures, criminal record,
job offer,
job offer,
from the company.
Your company that you bought the insurance, for the healthcare, and also you will be asked one document that you need to fill online. From the Ministry of Economic Development is called the nulla osta, but it's quite doable, so no worries about it. After you get successfully your working visa, when you land in Italy, then after that you will go to the local office, the local immigration office, to get the work permit, the working permit, the working residence permit, exactly as in China. So you have all of this. Again, like you asked me about the time, I think again it depends from like where you are and the situation
so
also.
It
because,
varies, from
yes,
person to person.
Yes, I think also now we're talking all of this in time of
pandemic,
peace. Yes, but now the situation it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think now it might take longer.
All right.
But in any case, I would say that it's better to prepare all of this around a month in advance. That is like the general
Okay,
practice,
let's clarify one thing. You mentioned that if somebody wants to travel to Italy for a short period of time, they can just get a business visa, right? So this business visa can be sponsored by the same company,
yes,
like a simple invitation?
Yes, you can do that, yes.
Right. So just to clarify again, for example, because Mauro mentioned China as well, we compared this case to China business visa. So in China, the way it works is like, again, under normal conditions, not during the pandemic, because during pandemic there are some temporary extra requirements. So if assuming that pandemic ends, these are the normal conditions, like inviting company will have to write an invitation, formal invitation to the person who needs to come to China with a business visa, and that invitation is going to be sent to the Chinese embassy or a consulate in your country of residence, and you can use use the same letter and apply for business visa. This is like a very simple thing. So Mauro says that that's the same thing, the same procedure in Italy. But when you want to live long term, then you have to convert that business visa to a proper work visa, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, no. It's business visa is one thing. Then, if you want to actually work, you need to apply for working visa, and then when you go there, when you go to Italy, you will convert the work visa to residence permit.
All right.
So, like the business visa is separate.
Oh, it's separate. But okay. For example, in China, let me bring an example. In China, you can come to China with a business visa. You can convert it to work visa if you want to do so, without leaving the country. How about in Italy? So is it convertible?
Honestly, I have to double check this.
Right.
Anyway, I think that if you have good reasons and you show that you have all the paperwork in order, and that you have reason to stay because you want to conduct a legitimate business and etc. I think there is no reasons to
go
say
back to
no.
your country,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So in all of this, in China's everywhere in the world, there is always this how to say checking the how reasonable the situation, the request, the cases.
Sure. Yeah, definitely, I'm sure, because I know 100% that China is one of the strict countries when it comes to applying for visa, getting the permission and stuff. Like, even being that strict, China allows people, foreigners, come to China with a business visa or with any tourist visa maybe, and convert the same visa to a work visa. So I'm sure in developed country like Italy, in European Union, that shouldn't be an issue, basically.
Yeah.
So for example, do you go to Italy with a business visa, maybe check the business environment and make sure that you like the country or you like the region, you want to run your company there, and all of a sudden you decide convert the visa to a work visa. So I'm pretty much sure that's doable, right?
By the way, just now that you mentioned settling,
right,
one of the requirements when you want to apply for the working residence permit is that you need to have a contract for your accommodation. For your accommodation.
Okay, lease agreement.
Yes,
basically.
exactly. This is one of the the first requirements that is written in the website of the ministry.
Sure.
So this is something that you need to
consider,
to consider,
so
and
basically
you need to take care in advance.
All right. So if you're, for example, outside of Italy and you want to apply for work visa, then it means that you have to rent a place from distance, sign a contract, and then apply for work visa, because that's one of the requirements.
No worries, we can help you with that.
Of course. I mean, we are just talking about the technicalities and legal side of the things, but obviously if you do you know, company formation and then the work visa application through our company, then our partner Mauro's company is going to take care of all the process, basically, guys. So all right, except that, for example, when we talk about like work visa for foreigners, some countries, you know, put, you know, limitation on, like you need to employ local people, and in China, luckily there is no requirement like that. But in Italy, you mentioned that there are like 3 people need to be employed.
Yes.
Do you have to keep them like for a long term, or can you, like for example, after a certain period, you know, if the business is, you know, getting smaller, or, you know, it's expanding, you adjust the number? Is there
Okay,
any,
this again, you know, comes from case to case, but it is, you know, suggested that you keep these 3 people. Then, you know, if one of the people leaves, that, you know, you substitute this person, so at least you always have these 3 people.
Have 3 people,
yes.
right.
Then, you know, if you know, there is some issues or something, I'm sure, you know, that we can, you know, explain to the officers, you know, that there is this issue, that we had, you know, 2 people instead of 3. But, you know, in principle, it's always better, you know, to keep the 3 people.
Okay.
And then, you know, if it goes better, even go beyond if you can. You know.
Of course, it's important because everything comes down to the, you know, financial side of things, right? And also, one of the important questions will be: can you bring your spouse or family, immediate family members, with yourself? You know, when you relocate?
Yes, definitely. You know, there is the how to say this in English. You know, like the visa to reunite the family. So, you know, if you are the husband or the wife and you are going there, definitely your spouse and your kids will have the same authorization, like connected to yours. So, like, no worries about it.
All right. So, okay, basically, I think these are the most important elements when we're talking about work visas in Italy. And yeah, definitely, if you guys have more questions, if you want us to clarify, you can send us an email or leave in the comment section below. We will be, you know, happy to address them, right?
So I hope that, like, you know, you enjoyed that. My explanation was quite clear, and, you know, if, as I said, as many things, you know, depends case by case, just drop us an email
sure,
or
definitely.
Or text us, you know, anytime.
Definitely. All right, guys, once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.